this meeting to order. That's Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. Do you gentlemen have any conflict of interest on the agenda today?
No, none.
Okay, item number 7 that was previously on the agenda, that's going to be scratched for this meeting. And there's no other changes, Mark?
No.
Okay.
Just number 13, and they're just tax abatements to be considered.
Okay. With that, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented minus number 7?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Bryce, second by Charlie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Now we're going to start the meeting off on a very positive note. Employee Service Award. Gene Kavanaugh, how are you today?
I'm great.
Why don't you come on up here? This is an award we have for you. Dedicated Service Award for over 50 years of service to Shelby County from 1972 to 2024. Gene Kavanaugh, he was Shelby County Sheriff. He's Veteran Affairs Director in recognition for your dedication to Shelby County citizens.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not going to let you just get away here. I want you to sit down and give us a little brief history of your service here and some of your trying times and maybe some of the great times.
Well, I tell you what, like you said, 1972 through 2024, I have enjoyed this position as sheriff, or deputy sheriff, and Veterans Affairs Director immensely. 52 years of service for the county. I hate to give it up, but my wife says I need to. So, the job as deputy sheriff on the Oral Gerhardt. All you old timers remember Oral Gerhardt. I was his third deputy, or second deputy under him. He retired. I ran for sheriff. Got to be sheriff from 1985 through 2008. 4 months off from the IPERS position. An opening was in the Veterans Affairs office. I took that job. And I can't believe it's been almost 16 years since I retired from the sheriff's office. Like I said, I've enjoyed both jobs immensely. And thank you guys for your support for everything we did.
It's been easy.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good job.
Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, well, thank you. With that, we're going to move on. You just stay right there. We have appointment confirmation of Carmen Fielding, new Veterans Affairs Director. Would you like to say anything before we bring Carmen up?
Well, just that Carmen is a retired Navy personnel. Spent 22 years in the Navy. She's originally from California. She has recently purchased a house in Erling, Iowa. So she's a member of the community. I think she'll do a great job. It's just a learning process right now for her. Speaking from experience, you just don't step into that job not knowing what you're doing. So Carmen Fielding.
Thank you.
Yep, we'll bring you up here that way you can get me on camera, okay?
Oh.
Thanks, Gene.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're going to be an asset to her when she has some questions, knowing you.
She's going to do a great job.
I'm sure she will. Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome, Carmen.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Steve Kenkel.
I'm an Air Force veteran.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and sit down. So did you go through Veterans Affairs Board for confirmation or?
Yes, actually the board, the commission did the interview with her. I had nothing to do with it, so, but they made a great choice.
Again, what are some other things, a bit about your background that Jean didn't touch on?
Well, 22 years in Navy service, just retired 2 years ago. So I've been through the process. I understand more, freshly what needs to go and what I still don't, still learning. So I am a, let's see, 4 decades military family.
Okay, awesome.
And my daughter actually
Thank
is
you.
currently serving too, so in the Air Force.
Good for her.
I'm 3rd generation Navy, so yeah, I'm excited about helping veterans. I've always been that way in the military.
Was there anything special that brought you to Shelby County?
Yes, my best friend.
Awesome.
We met in my first duty station 20-something years ago, and we have been best friends, and I was not happy living up in Washington, because that's where I retired out of, and she says, well, come move here, and I said, okay.
Win-win for everybody, right?
Yes, win-win, yes.
Good.
And
Okay.
yeah, and it works out perfect. 2 of my daughters live, one lives right up in Minnesota, the other one lives right down in Missouri, so.
In the middle.
Right in the middle for those 2. Unfortunately, my oldest one lives still in Washington, so
Good. Well,
we're trying.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You guys have any other questions?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to appoint the confirmation of Carmen Fielding?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. And thanks again, Gene.
You're welcome, thank you.
Next on the agenda, approval of the minutes from September 3rd, 2024. Any correction changes, Mark?
No.
Do I have a motion to approve the September 3rd minutes as presented?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Had a chance to look over the claims report?
Yep,
Questions
no
on that?
questions. No.
Motion to approve the claims as presented?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Bryce, second by Charlie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Department head reports. Anybody out there have any reports they'd like to do? Pretty bashful out there today.
Kyle looks anxious.
Everything's running smoothly, so
Well, that's good news. Okay,
In the auditor's office, we're just busily waiting for the ballots. They're supposed to be here by Friday,
okay,
Iowa code, but if we don't have them, we don't have them, and that's for overseas voters. UACAVA is what they call it. And we have ways of getting them ballots overseas.
okay,
And so we'll get that handled.
okay.
Absentee ballots will not be put in the mail until October 16th. And that's the day that in-person absentee voting starts. We're gonna have that in this room, and luckily it works out with our supervisors meetings, so
We'll make it work.
yeah, it'll all work out. So,
Okay, thanks, Mark.
yep.
For the department heads that are here, since our last meeting, you have received, for the ones that were impacted, an ICAP report from hail roof damage. Make sure you follow through with that. If you have any questions, the guy's name is on there. The biggest thing I've gotten out of that, but talking to him, is make sure you go get a bid. If the bid isn't in the vicinity to cover that, make sure you be talking to them, because they said they would be very open, working with us, as long as they had some contractor expertise to work off of. So that's up to your department heads to get that taken care of, okay? And then let Mark and I know, how your progress is going, so, okay? Again, any other department heads reports? Okay. Supervisor committee reports?
At Mantino Park, we had volunteers put new steel and do construction on the shop, which was in very bad condition due to age and rot. Tim Bloom stepped up to kind of lead the crew, and like to just recognize him for all of his work. He put in a lot of work out there. And Jesse Bloom, there's a bunch of others that camp out there, and pretty much got the project done. Just got to pour concrete yet, and it looks amazing. It really looks good.
Awesome.
So just like to thank those guys for stepping up and volunteering to do that.
Tim does a lot of work out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had our annual SWPCO meeting at Turkleson Center. Steve was there,
Yeah.
and I thought it was a very good meeting. And showed everything that SWPCO does. And before that, we had the Hungry Canyons meeting in Pisgah, where we took a tour of the Lost Hills. And there was a lot of interesting facts that I didn't know. That the Yellowstone volcano exploded 70,000 years ago and blew ash clear over into Iowa, covered a foot of Iowa, in western Iowa here. And he dug down in the bank, and you could see the layers of soil, and down here was a foot of ash in the layers. Amazing. I never knew that happened. And that was one of the most interesting tours I took. That about covers that.
Okay. Yeah, I was very impressed with SWPCO. I thought I knew what they did, but not really. They're very accommodating. If you need transportation for anything, don't think that they can't do it. You call them and ask them, and you might be surprised. So, for anything. 24/7. So I didn't realize that either. So we have a very valuable asset out there that they're there to help if needed. So remember that. I guess I really don't have any updates today. Don't have anything, no new pipeline news today. I don't want to take anything away from Todd when he comes up and talk, but I know the chamber, we've been looking, exploring areas to help with housing in the county through grants and stuff, so that's kind of been put on a priority list, and I know we're digging into that a little more, so. That's all I really have now. With that, I'll bring Todd Belina up, chamber report. Morning, Todd. Morning. Todd. How goes it today?
Goes good. Except for I have Isaiah Pacheco on one of my fantasy teams, and I got to
Well, that's the worst of your problem.
That's the worst of my problems. And like Steve mentioned, yeah, we are looking at ways to address some housing. In fact, we have a meeting coming up here real soon with certain individuals in the community, and we're going to look at two things, and some of it goes back to previous housing studies we've done, and that is to try to identify ways to build starter housing and or apartments, but keep them at the market rate. We're not going to use low income tax for that. And then also, part of that housing study showed that as far as in the community, a lot of the community would like to see us repair homes and bring them kind of more up to today's look and today's standard. So we're also looking at potential ways to do something with that. As far as the chamber report, I just have some interesting things that are going on in the county to let you know about. And the first is going to be on September 24th. The Iowa Supreme Court will be visiting Harlan, and they're going to have a dinner, and then they're going to hear oral arguments. Provides the justices and the court staff a chance to interact with our community and with our local lawyers. So at 5:30, dinner will be served at the Harlan Country Club. It's a cash bar available too. And Daniel over at Cohorse Law, if you want to attend, just give him a heads up so he can get the head count for that. And then they'll move from the country club over to the high school at 7, and that's where those oral arguments will take place.
Do you know, have they did this before?
They've done it a couple of times, but I don't think they've done it in Shelby County.
Yeah, not that I'm aware.
Yeah.
Didn't even know.
They did one other time.
Have they?
Yeah,
One-
like 2015 maybe.
Here in the county?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. That's really nice. Okay.
And then just opening this weekend, Rosa Blonda Farm, they have their second year of activities out there now. They'll be open the entire month of October from 10 in the morning till 7. Of course, they've got their corn maze, they've got their pumpkin patch, they have all that stuff. But they're gonna have some special nights, like they're gonna have Doug and Darla on stage on the, they had them this past weekend. And then Witches Night, which is girls only, on Saturday, October 12th. And then they're gonna have a corn maze night where, on October 19th, where they're gonna have a scary corn maze. So that sounds like that'd be a lot of fun, so. And then just a reminder that this weekend is the Green Ridge Steam and Gas Antique Show. It's always a great time to go out and visit them. It's $5 to get into the gate, but that $5 covers both days. So if you don't get around to see everything on Saturday, you can go back out on Sunday and check out the rest. And then you probably noticed the crosswalk paintings here in the city of Harlan. So Saturday at noon out in front of Milk and Honey, we're gonna have a ribbon cutting to celebrate getting those crosswalks done. And then the Wellness Alliance will talk about their plans to, not only are they planning to do some additional ones here, but they're also reaching out to other communities within Shelby County to see if they wanna have the same type of project done there, so. So that's good. It'd be kind of cool if we got those dotted all over Shelby County, so.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting, we'll put it that way, and talking to the leadership group who, first of all, those kids, I don't know if you saw some of the comments that were in the paper, but they were just so happy with being involved with it, being in the work that they did. There was actually one of the kids is from an immigrant family who had moved to Shelby County, and that kid said, now I really feel like I'm part of the community, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was really, really good, and, yeah, no, and we're also looking at doing some more murals around town. And also looking at highlighting the murals that are already out dotted around in other towns, you know, because we've still got like the one on the side of Norman Jean's building and things like that, so. And other than that, that's it for the chamber for today.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yep,
Todd.
thanks.
Next on the agenda, secondary roads report, including right-of-way, possible right-of-way permits. Chris Frederickson.
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Morning. Today will be very easy. There is no right of way
Okay.
for the day, so.
I just put them on there.
Yeah, never
You know
know.
how this works. Short and fairly uneventful update. The bridge crew is still working on the Elkhorn Park Bridge.
That going okay?
Everything is going well. They've done a great amount of work as dry as it's been. It's been very helpful. So
Okay.
they started yesterday, they reshaped the banks, and today they will be placing riprap. That'll probably take a couple of days, and then they will set the approach beams and deck it. So we are well on our way to having a completed structure. And then they will move on to the next one. We're still trying to decide where to go after that. With harvest hitting now, it's up in the air. So
Yeah.
we'll see who gets done where and how the farmers are progressing. Excavator crews are both out. They're both still ditching. Ray is out on 1300th west of 59, and Kevin is down on Redwood south of 58 yet. So hopefully we can complete both of those projects here fairly quickly and move on to a few other places we need to be before winter.
Okay.
As I've said in the last few meetings here, we are out blading. We've tried to hit a lot of it here the last 2 weeks. So I think most of the dirt roads are done, and if not, they should be done here very shortly. If anyone is out and sees something that hasn't been, if they can give us a heads up,
Okay.
call in the office, let me know. That's great. Like I say, we're trying to hit everything. It is possible we miss something, so
Needs rain.
yeah, maybe the end of the week. And another thing off of that also, once we blade it, and even if we haven't bladed, it is very dusty out there. So if everybody will just pay attention if you're driving.
Yeah.
Obviously, slow moving equipment will be out and other cars and vehicles. So just pay attention and take a little more time if you can. So, other than that,
Full staff?
full staff. The new gentleman is still slated to start October 1st, so that will be good. We'll be full going into winter. And still waiting on equipment. We have a new maintainer that yet is to be delivered. We don't know when it's coming. It's one of those things, 2 weeks out they'll say, we're coming with it. So hopefully before winter also, we'll have it ready to roll.
Landfill construction updates?
As you know, with the rest of the insurance that's going on, it's still fun. The contractor is in place to redo the buildings, but I still have no doors, so.
I see.
One surely gonna come before the cold weather.
Yes,
we hope so.
yes. The insurance representative and I have a hotline between each other, so.
Yeah, he said he's been
Yeah.
having cordial conversations
Yes,
with you.
yes, I've had discussions with him, and I know you have for the other
Yeah.
segment of the next claims, so
Okay, yeah,
it will get done. But other than that, still functioning as normal, and
okay,
everything's going, so.
okay.
That's what I have for
Why don't you-
today.
Why don't you stay right there? I think
Okay.
the next one is TIF area creation. Is this on the Agriland area?
I'm just asking for the supervisor's permission. Taryn and I had a brief conversation with the attorneys at Dorsey in Des Moines to get started
Yeah,
on this process. And I just want the supervisor's okay to
Yeah.
continue.
yeah. Just so you get a little past history, that's been a practice here. One, it's been anything that has a matrix tied to it, so we can help keep up the roads because of the extra traffic. This is not a matrix, but it fits in the same ag areas we did for FSC up in Defiance. We tipped that area to help, pay part of the road, help build the road up some, so we help the areas around there because of the extra traffic. We'd like to do the same down here. So that's the reason for it. And it's not gonna be a forever thing. It has so many years on it. We do the improvements that we need to do, and then it goes back out to everybody. Correct? Or-
Yes, the way I understand
Okay.
it, unless Mark has something else.
So, is there anything besides wanting to move forward with this that the board needs to do?
No, I'd just like to have formal
Have
approval
our
that
blessing?
what we're doing is okay.
Yeah, it's a past practice that we've been doing.
Do you need a motion on that?
It will take some money
Yeah,
and
to get it
we
started.
can, some cash that we don't have budgeted. It'll have to be spent, and then in 2 years, we'll start recouping and claim that attorney fees back.
Okay,
TIF will pay for that eventually.
okay,
And unlike ag properties, this is new value, it's
Right.
not just shifting value.
right, yep, yep. Do you have any questions or concerns?
No, I don't,
Doing
Mark.
this for secondary roads?
Mark and I have talked about it. I think it will benefit the county as a whole.
Yeah,
The facility that's going up will utilize practically every road in the county, I'm assuming, so
yeah,
it'll be a benefit for them as well as the citizens of the county.
It's quite a process. It involves Chris,
Yeah.
it involves Tony,
Yeah.
and the zoning board, the assessor, as auditor,
yeah.
budget director. It touches a lot of areas, and the supervisors, of
Yeah.
course.
They did it before I was ever on the board. They did the same process down in the industrial park to get that infrastructure in and to do that down there. And then once that was paid for, it's off and it's back on the payroll.
It's a 20-year deal.
Yep.
Yes, so it
20-year
will,
deal.
it will run out.
Yep. Okay, do I have a motion to move forward with the TIF area down there?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thanks everyone's participation in that.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have some tax abatements.
Yeah,
We have one in City of Panama, one by the church, up by the Harlan Water Tower. We have the EMS building that we purchased, of course that doesn't have taxes on anymore, and one at 403 4th Street in Harlan. So I'll let Tony and Mark address that.
So the two in Panama are some land that Panama acquired. Municipals do not pay property taxes, but they acquired them after I can make them exempt. So, you know, the first year that they became eligible for me to do something, make them exempt, we did. But they're essentially asking you to go backwards and abate that, which you certainly have the authority to do so. One of them, I think, was $4, I think, Mark,
98 total for the two.
for the two in Panama there. And those are the city requesting. I'm kind of outside that loop. Other than I can verify they'll be exempt for the future tax bills. Then another one is the church that's up by the water tower in North Harlan, up by the old New Park School. It's exempt, but when we did a revaluation and shifted everything in our system, the exemption amount didn't go up. So I'm asking you to abate that. It should be exempt. And then the final one is a home in North Harlan at 403 4th Street, and that was something that was reported to us removed, and we didn't get removed in our system. So it's a clerical issue on our end.
Okay, and just like the EMS building, that's exempt like the church is. correct?
Yeah, that's a perfect example of something that we changed it the 1st January that we can change it, but it doesn't take care of what had already occurred.
Okay. Do you have any further comments on that, Mark?
No, none.
Do you guys have any questions?
Straightforward.
Anybody else out there? Okay. Do I have a motion to abate the two in the city of Panama, the church by the water tower, EMS building, and 403 4th Street in Harlan?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Bryce, second by Charlie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
There's 5 parcels and all the parcel numbers will be listed in the minutes. That's required.
Okay. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, Tom.
You bet. Thanks for helping fix it.
Okay. Is there any public comment of anything out there? Any questions? Okay, meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.